Senate will come to order. The following motion in writing. Will the secretary who read the motion?
Motion in writing. Mr. President, I move to suspend Senate Rule 11.13 so that committees may meet during the reading and referral of bills. Motion by Zaffarini.
Is there objection? Hearing none, the motion is adopted. The following bills and resolutions on first reading and reference to committee. Will the secretary read the bills and resolutions? Madam Secretary, hold for a moment, please. Mr. Doorkeeper.
Mr. President, there's a message from the House.
Well, admit the messenger.
Mr. President, I am directed by the House to inform the Senate that the House has taken the following action.
Thank you. Secretary may continue reading the bills and resolutions.
Senate Bill 1576 by Zaffarini relating the qualifications of certain masters, magistrates, referees, and associate justices to jurisprudence. Senate Bill 1577 by Parker relating the temporary sale of alcoholic beverages at certain racing facilities to state affairs. Senate Bill 1578 by Parker relating the creation and operations of a healthcare provider participation program in certain counties to local government. Senate Bill 1579 by Blanco relating the appointment of a receiver for and sale of or acquisition of certain parcels of land that are abandoned to local government. Senate Bill 1580 by Blanco relating the composition of the governing body of a local mental health authority to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 1581 by Blanco relating the eligibility of a trustee of certain school districts for employment by those districts to education K through 16. Senate Bill 1582 by Blanco relating to management review of certain investigations conducted by the Department of Family and Protective Services to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 1583 by Blanco relating to management plans adopted by groundwater conservation districts to water, agricultural, and rural affairs. Senate Bill 1584 by Eckhart relating to early voting by mail by any qualified voter to state affairs. Senate Bill 1585 by Hughes relating to a prohibition on governmental contracts with companies of foreign adversaries to state affairs. Senate Bill 1586 by Schwartner relating the issuance by the Texas Commission of Environmental Quality of permits for certain wastewater treatment facilities to water, agricultural, and rural affairs. Senate Bill 1587 by Hancock relating the enforceability of certain non-disclosure or confidentiality provisions with respect to an act of sexual abuse committed against a child to state affairs. Senate Bill 1588 by Hancock relating the failure to report child abuse or neglect to criminal justice. Senate Bill 1589 by Hancock relating the contract requirements for a contract between a single source continuum contractor and the Department of Family and Protective Services to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 1590 by Hancock relating to duties of the Vital Statistics Unit of the Department of State Health Services to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 1591 by Hancock relating the provision of claims assistance services to veterans to Veteran Affairs. Senate Bill 1592 by Blanco Hinojosa of Nueces and Alvarado relating to the collection of state, municipal, and county hotel occupancy taxes by an accommodations intermediary to economic development. Senate Bill 1593 by Hancock relating the Texas Industry Recognized Apprenticeship Programs Grant Program to economic development. Senate Bill 1594 by Hancock relating to renaming the Sunset Advisory Commission as the Sunset Legislative Initiative for Cost Efficiency Advisory Commission to economic development. Senate Bill 1595 by Hancock relating to required reporting of information on the ownership and control of certain healthcare entities to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 1596 by Hagenbu relating to the prohibition of short-barrel firearms to state affairs. Senate Bill 1597 by Hagenbu relating to the combination of certain election precincts to state affairs. Senate Bill 1598 by Hagenbu relating to the release of motor vehicle collision report information to transportation. Senate Bill 1599 by Hagenbu relating to the authority of certain special districts to use operation and maintenance ad valorem tax funds to pay certain costs to local government. Senate Bill 1600 by Hagenbu relating to the authority of certain peace officers to arrest a person without a warrant while outside the officer's jurisdiction to criminal justice. Senate Bill 1601 by Hagenbu relating to the legal justification for using force or deadly force in response to the commission of attempted commission of a violent felony to criminal justice. Senate Bill 1602 by Hagenbu relating to creating the criminal offense of trespass on or near school or daycare center property to criminal justice. Senate Bill 1603 by Hinojosa of Nueces relating to the exemption from sales and use taxes for firearms firearms, ammunition, and other related items to finance. Senate Bill 1604 by Hinojosa of Nueces relating to the adoption of a mental health leave policy for certain qualified employees to criminal justice. Senate Bill 1605 by Hinojosa of Nueces relating to the determination of the value of land that is appraised as a census of properties by the Comptroller of Public Accounts to education, K through 16. Senate Bill 1606 by Hinojosa of Nueces relating to the authority of the Texas Water Development Board to provide financial assistance from the Safe Drinking Water Revolving Fund to Water, Agricultural, and Rural Affairs. Senate Bill 1607 by Campbell relating to the creation of an additional judicial district composed of Comal County to jurisprudence. Senate Bill 1608 by Campbell relating to physical examination requirements for patients admitted to an inpatient mental health facility to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 1609 by Paxton relating to the Physician Assistant Licensure Compact to Business and Commerce. Senate Bill 1610 by Perry and Flores relating to sexually violent predators to criminal justice. Senate Bill 1611 by Colcourse relating to fees assessed by the Lost Pines Groundwater Conservation District to Water, Agricultural, and Rural Affairs. Senate Bill 1612 by Johnson relating to construction contract trust funds to Business and Commerce. Senate Bill 1613 by Johnson and Paxton relating to eligibility for the gifted and talented student allotment under the Foundation School Program to education K through 16. Senate Bill 1614 by Johnson relating to the payment of funds under construction contracts to Business and Commerce. Senate Bill 1615 by Johnson relating to the application of funds under construction contracts to Business and Commerce. Senate Bill 1616 by Hinojosa of Hidalgo relating to certain payment recovery and recoupment efforts under Medicaid and the Child Health Plan Program to Health and Human Services. Senate Bill 1618 by Zaffarini relating to certain contracts for the purchase of residential real property located in a colonia to local government. Senate Bill 1619 by Zaffarini relating to the use of an epinephrine delivery device by certain entities to education K through 16. Senate Bill 1620 by Huffman relating to the establishment of the Texas Forensic Analyst and Apprenticeship Pilot Program to finance. Senate Bill 1622 by Zaffarini relating to certain disclosures and other requirements relating to the online sale of concert and other event tickets to Business and Commerce. Senate Bill 1623 by Johnson relating to the dedication of certain water rights to the Texas Water Trust to Water, Agriculture, and Rural Affairs. Senate Bill 1624 by Johnson relating to the purposes for which the Texas Water Bank and the Texas Water Trust may accept and hold water rights to Water, Agriculture, and Rural Affairs. Senate Bill 1625 by Johnson relating to the reporting of certain security incidents by public water systems to the Texas Commission on Environmental Quality to Business and Commerce. SCR 27 by Eckhart authorizing the burial of Guy Herman in the State Cemetery to administration. SCR 28 by Paxton. Urging the United States Congress to propose and send to the states for ratification a constitutional amendment to clarify that the states and Congress may reasonably regulate and limit the spending of money to influence campaigns, elections, or ballot measures to state affairs. SCR 29 by Blanco, designating El Paso as the official boot capital of Texas for a 10-year period ending in 2035 to administration. SJR 60 by Campbell, proposing a constitutional amendment to authorize the Commissioner's Court of Accounting to exempt from ad valorem taxation by each political subdivision that taxes the property, the portion of the assessed value of a person's property that is attributable to the installation in or on the property of a rainwater harvesting or gray water system to local government. SJR 62 by Parker, proposing a constitutional amendment establishing the Texas Healthcare Workforce Education Fund to provide funding to eligible institutions of higher education to education K through 16. SJR 65 by Hinojosa of Hidalgo, proposing a constitutional amendment authorizing the legislature to legalize wagering in this state on certain sporting events to state affairs. SJR 66 by Perry et al., proposing a constitutional amendment dedicating a portion of the revenue derived from state sales and use taxes and insurance premium taxes to the Texas Water Fund to finance. SJR 67 by Betancourt, proposing a constitutional amendment authorizing a statewide referendum allowing voters to indicate a preference for observing year-round standard time or daylight saving time to state affairs. SJR 68 by Birdwell, proposing a constitutional amendment to clarify and implement certain provisions governing the impeachment trial, removal from office, and disqualification of public officers to state affairs. Pursuant to a motion previously adopted, the Senate stands adjourned until 11 o'clock a.m. Tuesday, March 11th.